Hey guys, how you going? Okay, I was going to do this morning, but I've had a headache all day, so it's still there. Not as bad as it was this morning, but it's still there. Well, let's get on with this. I promised to read Twitter Files Part 6, and I'm going to do that. The FBI subsidiary. The Twitter Files are revealing more every day about how the government collects, analyses and flags your social media content. Twitter's contact with the FBI was constant and pervasive, as if it were a subsidiary. Between January 2020 and November 2022, there were over 150 emails between the FBI and former Twitter Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Some are mundane, like San Francisco agent Elvis Chan wishing Roth a Happy New Year, along with a reminder to attend our quarterly call next week. Others are requests for information into Twitter's users related to active investigations. But a surprisingly high number of requests by the FBI for Twitter to take action on election misinformation, even involving joke tweets from low follower accounts. The FBI's social media focused task force, known as FTIF, created in the wake of the 2016 election, swelled to 80 agents and corresponded with Twitter to identify alleged foreign influence and tampering of all kinds. Federal intelligence and law enforcement reach into Twitter included in the Department of Homeland Security, which partnered with security contractors and think tanks to pressure Twitter to moderate content. It's no secret the government analyses bulk data for all sorts of purposes, everything from tracking terrorist suspects to making economic forecasts. The Twitter Files shows something new. Agencies like the FBI and DHS regularly sending social media content to Twitter through multiple entry points pre-flagged for moderation. What stands out is the sheer quantity of reports from the government. Some are aggregated from public hotlines. FBI El Paso Election Day protocol for FBI headquarters is to stand up a national election command post which provides a centralized location for assessing election-related threats, status reports and complaints are tracked. Have a tip, send it to FBI, blah, blah, blah. An unanswered question. Do agencies like the FBI and DHS do in-house flagging work themselves or farm it out? You have to prove to me that inside the effing government you can do any kind of massive data or AI search, said one former intelligence officer. Hello, Twitter contacts. The master canine quality of the FBI's relationship to Twitter comes through in this November 2022 email, in which FBI San Francisco is notifying you it wants action on 4 accounts. So there are the 4 accounts. Jonathan Wade from MA, mad and pissed off. Malt Thomas. Twitter personnel in that case went on to look for reasons to suspend all 4 accounts, including Frommer, whose tweets are almost all jokes. See example below, including his civic misinformation of November the 8th. Thanks, Patrick. I've escalated to GET for a first pass. I've reviewed this already from the TD perspective and suspended 3 of the accounts for multi-account abuse and ban evasion violations. Rodrigo, could you please review from MA for possible civic misinformation or direct to the appropriate part of the GET for their review? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, said I want to remind Republicans to vote tomorrow, Wednesday, November the 9th. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, said propose container ship if there's a worldwide recession. So they were the jokes, and he got suspended. Just to show the FBI can be hyper-intrusive in both directions, they also asked Twitter to review a blue-leaning account for a different joke, except here it was even more obvious that Claire Foster, PhD, who kids a lot, was kidding. It says, oh, it's taking a while. Hello, Twitter contacts. FBI San Francisco is notifying you of the below account activities which may potentially constitute violations of Twitter terms and service for any action or inaction deemed appropriate within Twitter policy. Thank you, Catherine. Twitter post by user BY Wade, displayed name UltraMAGA, stating the following: Americans vote today, Democrats you vote Wednesday the 9th. The tweet was posted on the 8th of November at 2:10 AM CST. Twitter account Claire Foster claimed in her post she is a ballot counter in her state, and an additional post states, for every negative comment on this post, I'm adding another vote for the Democrats, and if you're not wearing a mask, I'm not counting your vote. Dr. Foster said, yeah, okay, ballot for every negative, adding another one for the Democrats. Anyone who cannot discern obvious satire from reality has no place making decisions for others or working for the feds, said Claire Foster, PhD, when told about the flagging. Of the 6 accounts mentioned in the previous 2 emails, all but 2, Claire Foster and From MA, were suspended. In an internal email from November the 5th, 2022, the FBI's National Election Command Post, which compiles and sends on complaints, sent the San Francisco field office a long list of accounts that may warrant additional action. And there's a lot of people in here. Just seeing if I know anyone. Oh my goodness, look at all the names. Okay. Agent Chan passed the list on to his Twitter folks. Twitter folks, please see below list of Twitter accounts that we believe are violating your terms of service by disseminating false information about time, place or manner of upcoming elections. Let us know if you decide to take any actions against the accounts based on our tipper to you. Also let us know if we need to issue a preservation letter, as we intend to serve legal process for these accounts. Thanks for your consideration. Twitter then replied with this list of actions taken. Note, mercy shown to actor Billy Baldwin. Patrick Conlon. Hi Elvis, thank you for your patience. As our team assessed the accounts you flagged, we've completed our review and taken the following actions on some of the accounts. Permanently suspended for policy violation, ban evasion, platform manipulation, excessive misinformation strikes. Temporarily suspended for spam behaviour, and that one, and had tweets bounced for civic misinformation policy violation, and that's the rest of them there. In regards to your question about a preservation letter, it's a good way to ensure the data hasn't been purged from our systems before legal process is filed and processed. Externally, the contact for submitting those is the same. Thank you, Patrick. Many of the above accounts were satirical in nature. Nearly all, with the exceptions of Baldwin and RSBN Network, were relatively low engagement, and some were suspended, or most with a generic thanks Twitter letter. What does it say? I can't read it. Okay. Anyway, account suspended. Hello, we're writing to let you know that we've reviewed your appeal, and your account features will remain locked or limited for the allotted time or pending completion of the assigned task due to violations of the Twitter rules. Attempted voter suppression, including attempted voter intimidation or providing false information about voting or registering to vote, or any unlawful activity is prohibited under our rules. You can review these guidelines at Twitter. When told of the FBI flagging, Lexi Tola replied, my thoughts initially include 1, seems like a prima facie 1A violation. 2, holy cow, me, an account with a reach of an amoeba 3, what else are they looking at? 23, I can't believe the FBI is policing jokes on Twitter. That's crazy, said Tiberius444. In a letter to former Deputy General Counsel and former top FBI lawyer Jim Baker on September the 16th, 2022, legal exec Stacia Cardille outlines results from her soon-to-be weekly meeting with the DHS, DOJ, FBI and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Oh dear. Okay, please see below for summary of elections-related work I completed today, Wednesday, September 16th. Government's Industry Sync. I participated in our monthly, soon-to-be weekly, 90-minute meeting with the FBI, DOJ, DHS and ODNI, and industry peers on election threats. A few items to note. Foreign adversaries are amplifying themes being advanced by domestic actors to undermine the legitimacy of the election. USG specifically referred vote by mail. I explicitly asked if there are any impediments with the ability of the government to share classified information or other relevant information with industry. FBI was adamant that no impediments to information sharing exist. I asked if USG was tracking foreign threats related to non-presidential races. Long silence. The government is not tracking foreign interference or threats related to down-ballot races. DHS has created a chart of key dates in the election process at the state level. They are confirming information with the states this week and should get us a summary of charts of key dates next week. @Policy tweeted about the meeting about legal review. As the only Twitter representative to speak, I raised my disappointment in the lack of my involvement directly to policy comms. It was a missed opportunity to document some key points of the meeting from our perspective. Project Heron. I met with legal, trust and safety and public policy stakeholders to discuss an intervention under consideration regarding labelling election results. I raised concerns about feasibility and I relayed first-hand experience with news media mistakes during a challenging primary season. I separately met with Sam and Matt to discuss worst-case scenario planning. I will meet with them again tomorrow on the project. Civil integrity labelling. Enforcement on our expanded civic integrity policy begins tomorrow, Thursday, September 17th. I provided feedback on a scenario planning document that includes approving the language of the labels. I also reviewed a moment that will link to vote by mail-in claims, consulted with outside counsel on the inclusion of the tweet, and provided content related advice to the curation team. 4. Account security upgrades. On Thursday, September 17th, over 2,300 high-risk politician and journalist accounts will be prompted to upgrade their security settings. See description from yesterday. I reviewed and approved 1. The comms plan and 2. The email to external stakeholders. I also told public policy of the 14 accounts that needed additional attention due to missing email addresses. Board update. I worked closely with Matthew on additional edits to the board narrative and accompanying chart. 6. Escalations. I handed the following escalations responded to with DHS regarding information they provided on a Facebook operation. We found no analogous activity. I don't know if that's how you say that. Worked with Angela to try and get this terrible impersonation account spewing 9/11 conspiracy theories impersonating a DCC staffer whose dad died in 9/11 pending. I flagged a specific tweet on Illinois use of modems to transmit election results in potential violation of the civic integrity policy, except they do use that in tech in limited circumstances. Scheduling meeting with OH Secretary of State Media Director, working with @Gov to ensure we handle the verification of the OH Speaker of the House. Follow up on, what's that? Dubuque County verification request with Lisa. Solicited additional information from YOL on product functionality and limitations around retweeting label content so we can explain to DNC. Lincoln Project is not pleased with their video was labelled under SAMM. Bitchute is driving that interaction. Allow list, Don Winslow and at Springsteen. Policy comms, number 7. In addition to the comms, work on the security upgrades. And that's where it ends. Okay, the Twitter exec writes she explicitly asked if there were impediments to sharing of classified information with the industry. The answer, FBI was adamant, no impediments to sharing exist. This passage underscores the unique one big happy family vibe between Twitter and the FBI. With what other firm would the FBI blithely agree to no impediments to classified information? At the bottom of that letter, she lists a series of escalations apparently raised at the meeting, which were already handled. About 1, she writes, flagged a specific tweet on Illinois use of modems to transmit election results in possible violation of the civic integrity policy, except that they do use that tech in limited circumstances. Another internal letter from January 2021 shows Twitter execs processing an FBI list of possible violative content tweets. And they've got a few here as possible violations. Here too, most tweets contain the same "get out there and vote Wednesday" trope and had low engagement. This is what the FBI spends its time on. So Susan Hart, United We Stand. So Cuomo wants to imprison suspected COVID carriers, force vaccination without due process, things power-hungry madmen would do. This is our future, guys, if the Dems get full control. If you're in Georgia, you better vote Wednesday. Okay, so what was that? What's wrong with that? In this March 2021 email, an FBI liaison thanks a senior Twitter exec for the chance to speak to you and the team, then delivers a packet of products. It was great speaking to you and the team at Twitter last week. I wanted to flag a few products that were released today and earlier in the week that may be of assistance to Twitter. Let us know if you have any questions. Are there more? Yep. The executive circulates the products, which are really DHS bulletins stressing the need for greater collaboration between law enforcement and private sector partners. The ubiquity of the 2016 Russian interference story as stated pretext for building out the censorship machine can't be overstated. It's analogous, I don't know how to say that word, how 9/11 inspired the expansion of the security state. So that's how they did it. They claimed Russian interference and went hard at everyone. While the DHS and its products pans permissive social media for offering operational advantages to Russians, it also explains that the domestic violent extremist threat requires addressing information gaps. FBI in one case sent over so many possible violative content reports, Twitter personnel congratulated each other in Slack for the monumental undertaking of reviewing them. Anyone need help reviewing the tweets? Forward an FBI report on possible violative content. +1, we can help. Thank you all so much for your help. A monumental undertaking, of course it was. There were multiple points of entry into Twitter for government flagged reports. This letter from Agent Chan to Roth references Teleporter, a platform through which Twitter could receive reports from the FBI. Great. Reports also came from different agencies. Here an employee recommends bouncing content based on evidence from DHS. Lean towards batting the URL and bouncing the video, to be honest, given the accusations, but relatively low visibility. State governments also flagged content. Twitter, for instance, received reports via the Partner Support Portal, an outlet created by the Centre for Internet Security, a partner organisation to the DHS. Why was no action taken? Below, Twitter execs receiving an alert from California officials by way of our Partner Support Portal debate whether to act on a Trump tweet. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can read this. Relevant ECs, okay, whatever. Hey team, the CASOS vote reported a something, I don't know. It looks like a web page. Handbook by Donald Trump. I've pasted their ask below. They're requesting feedback on the tweet and why Twitter didn't take any action. Ballots in California are only counted by local election officials in an open and transparent process. This tweet undermines voters' confidence that their votes will be fairly and properly counted. Please see relevant codes, relevant EC. There's a few numbers there. RE Public Observation from our Voting Law and Compliance Handbook. A lot of it does look, it looks like a website with a handbook. I would like to watch how that gets counted on that night to see how it works. Is this process open to the public? Please contact your county election officials to ask if there are COVID-related instructions to it. It says, yes, the entire process from the opening of the vote-by-mail ballot envelopes to the counting of ballots is open to the public. Contact your local election office for more information on observing the process. Additionally, to test the accuracy of the counting machines. Funny, because that's not what happened. They actually put boards up where people were trying to observe. And then they show a tweet from Donald J. Trump. California hired a pure Sleepy Joe Democrat firm to count and harvest votes. No way. Get a fair shake. Lawyers, get started. California, big trouble. Vote T and watch the greatest comeback. Also New York and Illinois, go for it. Here, a video was reported by the Election Integrity Project at Stanford, apparently on the strength of information from the Center for Internet Security. Okay, very long and legal heavy video, but essentially claims that workers opened the inner envelopes before that day and called people to correct it prior to that day. According to CIS, escalated via EIP. The video misrepresents PA laws, PA Supreme Court decision, and the affidavits shown in the video, details in the thread. Thoughts on how to handle this one? The law doesn't prohibit curing, it prohibits curing prior to. On that day, the author misrepresents that by stating that officials can't contact voters, whereas they can't do so until pre-canvassing starts. The author misrepresents PASC decision by stating voters are not forbid from curing ballots. On the affidavits, these folks were contacted about having an opportunity to do so. In none of the examples do the affidavits state that the official called them and said that the voter's specific ballot needed curing. The author of the video misrepresented this and claimed otherwise. If that's confusing, it's because the CIS is a DHS contractor, describe itself as partners with the Cyber and Internet Security Agency, CISA, at the DHS. The EIP is one of a series of government-affiliated think tanks that mass review content, a list that also includes the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensics Research Laboratory and the University of Washington Center for Informed Policy. The takeaway? What most people think of as the deep state is really a tangled collaboration of state agencies, private contractors, and sometimes state-funded NGOs. The line becomes so blurred as to be meaningless. Twitter Files researchers are moving into a variety of new areas now. Watch Barry Weiss and Schellenberger MD in this space for more soon. Well, Barry Weiss kind of went rogue, I think. I don't know. Having a fight with Elon Musk or a disagreement or something. Dinesh D'Souza said with the latest Twitter Files, now seems clear that Vijay should be arrested and Jack and FBI Director Christopher Wray. Further investigations are needed into Meta and YouTube. This is a monumental scandal, a conspiracy to violate our constitutional rights. So I'm hoping this video is allowed on. We'll see what happens. I've got a lot of other news, including that Elon and that other person were having a bit of a disagreement. But I'll get into that tomorrow. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, guys. I have a severe headache today, so I'm going to leave it there. And I hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys. Bye.